This is Crow Country. Crow Country is a survival horror game taking heavy inspiration from a few PS1 games like Resident Evil, Silent Hill, and Final Fantasy VII, released back in 2024. It's a good game that avoids one of the most common issues in a lot of current games, the mistake of telling not showing when they should be showing don't telling.
Dude, your grammar sucks.
So just in case you don't know what show don't tell is, I'm gonna explain it in one sentence. Show don't tell is a way of designing a game where instead of being told how to play a game, clear a section of a level, or what the story is about, it's shown to you subtly in an attempt to avoid breaking the fourth wall. Crow Country does this, but before I flat out tell you how it does this is how the game's intro could have played out if they didn't follow the show don't tell mentality. Man, that was a long drive. My back is aching.
Mara, you're going to need to make your way into Crow Country. Use that ammo in your trunk to shoot the gate open.
How am I gonna get into Crow Country? Maybe I should inspect that lock. The lock says I can shoot it open. I think I left some ammo in my trunk. I really should have loaded that into my gun by holding right bumper and pressing A before coming here. Oh, I think I remember. I can also shoot with right bumper. Good thing the heads-up display reminded me. Man, that really has a lot of useful information. I should keep an eye on it. Boom. Mara 1, lock 0. Wait, actually, can we give the lock a point? It did tell me how to metaphorically crack the code. So it's a draw this time, lock. This time. So in reality, everything you needed to know was told in the interact dialogue and the minimal HUD, not in an abrasive narration from every single character, naturally teaching the player to be thorough, attentive, and to search their surroundings by interacting with any and all objects they see, which is really the only thing most players will need to know in order to complete the game. But let's just hypothetically say that we have a player who actually needed the annoying guiding dialogue I just showed you. Like, take a look at this Portal player. Clearly, he needs some help, and maybe even more so than just help completing this section of the game. So how would he cope with Crow Country? So first, the intro would probably stun lock him for a bit, maybe even a while, but after a worst case scenario of 30 minutes stuck in the parking lot, he would have definitely at least learned how to interact with objects, and as long as that is achieved, the first area is passable, and thankfully, the very next room has tons of tutorial posters to explain anything that 30 minutes failed to teach him, with more of them scattered across the entire game, which is a perfect way to do tutorials, especially so with how they are presented as cheat codes for a game in the game, making it feel less fourth wall breaky, and more importantly, completely optional. Which brings me to how the story is shown and not told. Most of what you need to know for the story to be understood is not forced onto you, besides on the very rare occasions it does so, like in the intro cutscene, talking to a lawyer named Julie, and the final cutscenes, with the rest being done only in memos, logs left on the ground, or through the environment itself explaining the remaining loose ends. This type of show don't tell is amazing because it prevents needing moments where characters talk at you with exposition for overly long stretches constantly, while also allowing the pacing of the story to be set by the player themselves. Because if you really wanted to, you could just ignore every note and bit of dialogue and probably still piece together the plot by the end of the game, at least slightly. Which might get you asking,
Why would anyone even do that? Because the fact you're even using this game as an example for show don't tell implies that you like the game, implying it probably has a good story, implying we shouldn't skip it.
wow, that's a lot of assumptions about my beliefs, but you're right, and I don't know, some people think dialogue is a waste of time, I guess. But one part of the game does tell a lot more than it shows. It's the puzzles. This is due to the existence of another set of scattered notes giving hints for the puzzles. And if they were just random notes, this 100% would break the show don't tell illusion. But since they made them employee notes, it feels really natural reading them, giving only enough of a hint to guide you in the right direction and not give away the whole puzzle. But all that work to make it feel natural does go down the drain because the devs included a machine you can use for a perfect guide through any section of the game whenever you want, ruining the puzzle show don't tell entirely. Is what I would say if it wasn't for the fact that the machine is a fortune teller machine, and with that being the case, it perfectly fits into the theme park aesthetic while adding a goofy bit of paranormal activity to the lore with nothing ever explaining how it can give you accurate fortunes. Plus, they do limit you to 10 tokens you can use on the machines, so it leads to most players conserving their tokens subconsciously, giving an incentive to figuring out puzzles without it. Honestly, now that I think about it, having predictions of the future fits into the themes the game's story tells as well, but of course I won't explain that because that would spoil the story, so just play the game or something. I think it's on sale or something, I don't know, maybe something. Also, I originally didn't even know these fortune tips existed on my first playthrough, since I played the game on hard mode for my first time. Not to brag or anything, but I'm kind of a big deal. Another good show don't tell example is the music, because the music in this... Wait, actually, if you think about it, all music in video games is kind of forcefully told to you, because it just plays in your ears without you having, you know, chosen that. So never mind, this game sucks at show don't tell, never mind. Okay, wait, but I actually considered, and if you think about it, the music doesn't necessarily tell you how to feel about it. So it's still showing you the music. Because, like, unless they, like, dissect their own music, I guess, in the game, it wouldn't really count. But this is, like, too deep of a conversation to be having. I'm not gonna really, yeah. Okay, wait, but now that I think about it...
Okay, you're not being subtle. We heard you turn up the music slightly. You're just trying to show off the music.
No.
Like, this is supposed to be a show don't tell video where you explain how the game's not really telling us things.
Yeah, you're right.
And you're just trying to, like, metaphorically twist
Yeah.
this to something it's not. Just get with the point,
Okay,
man.
I'm sorry. And the last form of show don't tell Crow Country gives us is showing us the secret sauce older games had without telling us about it. You might be one of the people who will die on a hill saying older games like Silent Hill and Resident Evil's tank controls were not that bad, and honestly, you might be right. And I feel your pain because I know a homie who despises the Ocarina of Time quick turn camera, even though it doesn't bother me at all. But just because we believe that doesn't mean we should tell people that, because it would be very abrasive and break the fourth wall. Which is why Crow Country is great, because it allows for both modern movement and tank controls, allowing for someone to experience the art style, gameplay, and tone of the games that inspired it with little to none of the pain points. I guess besides losing progress by not saving, but that's just a responsibility issue. People who don't save definitely had their dogs eat their homework. And I wasn't lying about the art style. Many of the characters are heavily influenced from a lot of the Final Fantasy VII models, as they were used as stand-ins during development, and the shader put on top of the game makes the levels look so similar to Final Fantasy VII. Like, I'm shocked this area isn't just from Final Fantasy VII. Oh, this one actually is just from Final Fantasy VII. I'm shocked that this... Okay, that's just another Final Fantasy VII image. I guess we don't have any... Probably have more Crow Country footage after this, I guess. Just compare these two images to that, or GIFs to that, whatever. So yeah, Crow Country does the basic service that most games should by giving at least a little bit of confidence in the fact that the player is going to be engaged, so it doesn't really need to do more than correcting their course at certain crucial points during the game by showing and not telling. But this is kinda a video done in bad faith, because it only came about because I played Crow Country recently, and then those AAA Mario videos came out recently as well, so the type of game I'm even arguing against is more like an exaggerated version of the actual hand-holdy games, which, since I haven't really played any AAA games recently either, all my points in this video are one of those straw man arguments I hear the kids talking about nowadays. So whatever, played Crow Country, it's really good. It's still on sale at the time of uploading, and it goes on sale every sale. Thank you to my members, they're really cool. And if you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Bonus content, bonus content, bonus content. So you're telling me this guy named Crow named his amusement park Crow Country. What is this guy, some sort of narcissist?
Dude, you're a hypocrite.
What?
Your channel's named Mist, which is literally your username, bro. Which means you're basically doing the same thing that you just called out.
My username's irrelevant to this.
No, it's not. How about you keep your takes consistent instead of backpedaling every chance you get?
Okay, man, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what I thought.